Well, I said it before. This episode's all about the Joshi Wrestling, but mostly from three events from two different promotions, two coming from the number one Joshi promotion in all of Japan, Stardom, and then, of course, the others from Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. And these are past events that took place the one in June, and I believe it's in August, but they're pretty good shows to watch. There may be low key on this one's, but you can't miss it. But right now, let's get ready to start another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to Deleted Wrestle Zone. All things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J Rod here. So, let's begin with Stardom with their latest events, well, past events, if I'm not mistaken, the Aonomi Asahi Broadcasting 30th anniversary. There was 2 days of this, but on not back to back. They're like that took place on the 24th, and the other one took on the 26th of June. Now let's start with day number one on June 24th, 2021. Opened up with Lady C taking on Momo Watanabe. Not the first time as these two has come across each other. Second time, Momo was self-aware not to get chokeslammed by Lady C because, as you all know, Lady C is a tall girl. But however, when it comes to Momo, you all know she is capable. She's a terrific striker. You know that somehow she could overcome any challenges and obstacles, and that's exactly what she did when she put her on the double knee and allowing herself to win the match. Next up, we got Ruka taking on Azumi. Now, once again, Ruka, who is Oedo Tai, it was a pretty good match, but it became interference, all thanks to the other members of Oedo Tai who try to beat Azumi down. But, of course, Oedo Tai doesn't play by the rules. They will not be threatened by those who they believe have the much better momentum than them. It's always been part of their case. Azumi took the win, but I don't think she's happy how the result ended. Next up, we got Oedo Tai, Konomi, and Atsuko Tora taking on Queen's Quest, Sayaka Mitani, and Utami Hayashida. Now, this particular match was set because we all know that Atsuko Tora called out for a shot of the red belt, that Utami Hayashida is the current champion. So basically, it's more like a preview before their actual show that will take place in Yokohama Dream Cinderella, which I'll review soon enough. But I would have assumed that they were going to use their cheating methods because that's what Oedo Tai is all about, but not this time. They played it a little bit fair, but if necessary, they'll try to cheat, but not this time. So it was Natsuko Tora who picked up the victory, showing Utami that she will take away that belt one way or the other. Next up, we got Oedo Tai, Starlight Kid, and Saki Kashima taking on Stars, Koguma, and Mayu Iwatani. Now, this was the first encounter that both Mayu and Koguma have to face facts. Starlight Kid, is, of course, was snatched up during a elimination match against Oedo Tai. She was forced to join Oedo Tai, but Kid is hanging on, as you know. But I did mention before, she embraced the dark side later on, but that's exactly what played. But this one, she looked more like she's trying to do the job, but apparently she can't get it done. no matter if she's still friends she, with Mayu and the rest of the stars. But in the end, it was, of course, Koguma who picked up the victory for their team, and that's exactly what took place. Now, our next match for this one on day one, our main event, is DDM consistent of Maika, Julia, and Suri taking on the Cosmic Angels, um, Unagi Sayaka, Mina Shirakawa, and Nakano. Now, these guys are very familiar with each other. Maika has challenged for the artist belt on multiple occasions, no avail. Julia lost the tag titles again. The white belt to Tam, and of course Suri is very impressed with Unagi's abilities. But however, it was the teamwork between with Cosmic Angels that allowed them to win the match, and that's exactly what they did with Tam Nakano putting the Tiger Suplex onto Micah, and 1, 2, 3, it was over. However, there seems like there's a bit of a tension within Cosmic Angels. As you know, both Mina Shirakawa and Unagi are part of the finals that will be determine who will win the vacant Future of Stardom title, which was vacant by Saya Ida not too long ago before that, but we'll see where they're going to go. So, right now, let's jump in with day two. This took place on the 26th of June. So, first match is a three-way match. We got Lady C, Micah, and Momo Watanabe. Now, as I mentioned before, 2 days prior before that, they had Lady C versus Momo, but now they added another flavor into the mix, and that is Micah. Now, Micah's a good, capable wrestler. She's almost similar as Momo, but the only difference is Momo is the leader of Queen's Quest, or should I say, now she was the leader. But we'll get to that some other time. So practically, that's what took place in this whole thing with them. But it was Micah who took the advantage to take out Julia in order to, Lady C to win the match, which was okay. But this began later, from what I can tell, the beginning of maybe a start of new. As you know, Lady C is the only one in all of Stardom who is not affiliated with any faction. She has teamed up with members from Stars and Cosmic Angels, but that is something that we have seen yet. Our next match, we got Starlight Kid versus Azumi. Once again, we ended up with another DQ with the interference of Oedo Tai. But however, Natsuko Tora was trying to give her a little pep talk, basically giving her like in words of encouragement to embrace the dark side, and that's exactly what she did. Basically, she embraced it, and of course, she always tried to tell her, you feel always the weakest link in the group. I don't consider the kid was the weakest link, but that's all about the manipulation that Oedo Tai is all about, proving they think that they know what they're talking about. Next match, we got Konami taking on Utami Hayashida. This was also a similar method between both Suri and Utami. As you know, they both this match was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I was I was impressed by it, but I wasn't sure exactly how this was gonna go. But to my surprise, it ended up with a time limit draw. But we do know that Utami does have reservations they'd be challenging Natsuko Tora, but there is a chance that sooner or later she'll come across Suri, but we'll see what happens then. Next up, we got, of course, stars Koguma and Mayu Otani taking on DDM's Suri and Julia in a non-title match, which, as you know, these two are still currently the Goddesses of Tag League champions. This one showed a little bit more, but I think the biggest shocker was Koguma, who was able to pick up the victory for her team. But however, it did indicated they do get an opportunity for the tag titles. That's something that she wants, and of course Mayu wants it, and of course she asked Rossi Ogawa, who is the founder but now the executive producer of the promotion, to see if they can make it happen. But it did. It was later revealed that it was going to take place at Yokohama Dream Cinderella, which I can't wait to see it. Our main event, this is for the Artist of Stardom Championship. This is the trios title. This match was created after Oedo Tai members such as Saki Kashima and Natsuko Tora believe that the Cosmic Angels, who were at the time the champions, were telling them that they don't care about those titles at all. That doesn't mean anything to them. But that's a bunch of lies. Cosmic Angels have always defended the titles against any comer, left, right, top. It doesn't matter. But it was a good match. Even the tactics that uh, Oedo Tai wasn't enough to put down a team like no, the Cosmic Angels. As you know, their first when they first won these titles, they beat Oedo Tai for this. It was mostly consistent with Kashima and Natsuko, along with now the recent the one who left not too long ago. I'm talking about, of course, B Priestley. So basically, it was a good one, but however, it was um, Tam Nakano that actually pulled off the victory, allowing for themselves to win the match, and it was pretty good. However, the tensions between both Unagi and Mina is continued to grow. So this is going to be one interesting match between them. So can't wait to review it. But right now, let's move on with Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. Okay, so we got Tokyo Joshi Pro. The Sky is the Limit. This took place on the 7th of August, but this was right in the middle of their annual tournament, the Princess Cup tournament number 8. Uh, well, I couldn't be able to watch it, but I can tell you the spoiler alert. On this one, we had Maki Ito, who won the entire tournament, so that means she'll be challenging Miyu Yamashita for the Princess of Princess title. Opening match, we have Keiya Bami taking on Rika Tatsumi. It was a pretty interesting match. Basically, not much of a bigger deal, but Rika, former champion, and she did her business. She was able to take on the newcomer, and that's exactly what she did when she put the hip attack on her. Next match, we got Pam Arajuku and Raku taking on um, Mirai Mayumi and Hyper Misao. Now, this match was intense a little bit, but when it comes to Hyper Misao, she takes it a little bit serious because she's the resident superhero. But when it comes to um, Mirai, she is the most toughest one of them all, and basically it was her who pinned Palm into the match and allowing herself to win the match completely. Next up, we have a interesting three-way. We have Aruna Neko, Morika Kobashi, and Yuki Kamifuku. Now, Morika treated Neko as a pet, because she looks like a cat. But you know how cats are; they don't like to be touched unless they're by their owners. But it was a real interesting. Like one just stood by, watch, doesn't know what to make. That kind of plays out. But it was Kamifuku who actually won the match completely, and I think she might have pinned Neko for this one. Next up, we got Nao Kakuta and Mizuki taking on Arisu Endo and Hikari Nao. As you know, both Noah and Nao are both similar names, but one of these days, these two, somebody will pin Hikari Nao for this match. But it was Mizuki who picked up the victory. But however, in this match, they should have known not to team up with her because she gets out of control. Trust me. That kind of thing shows about Mizuki. She is not a little angel. She sometimes plays the devil, but that's how she is. But it did a lot on the win. Excuse me. Next up, we got Suzumi teaming up with Miyu Watanabe, taking on Naduka Temna and Shoko Nakajima. Now, this match, in my opinion, Miyu completely impresses me every single time I see her. She can pick up people who are twice her size. I don't know where she gets the strength, but it makes her very good. And I think that's what it is. I did not expect it from her, and that's how she won the match. Our main event, we have Moka, Yamimoto, and Yuki Aino taking on Yuki Arai and Miyu Yamashita. Now, this match was unbelievably good. Reason I say this, you got Yuki Arai, who is the new girl on the block, but of course she challenged Meiko Maki Ito, Miyu's closest friend, but it kind of tells a different story. But I was surprised that Yuki Arai was going to win this match. I would have assumed as the opposing team that would have won it, but she was very impressive. So I think it was a pretty good show. I think that's pretty much it what we got right now. So Yuki took the victory. So let's enjoy it. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Coming up, we got 5 reviews we're gonna do. First one is coming from Glory Pro, which I reviewed already, but this one is another show. We got, I believe, hold on a second. Camp Leapfrog. This was the last one I was able to find. Then there's Invictus Pro, and then of course Impact Wrestling, the Throwback Throwdown number 2, and of course we have AEW Dark Elevation, which is going to be interesting. So I hope to see you guys on the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So goodbye, and have a nice day. Bang.